Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Zen Manga, and I hope you're having a good day. So, I just wanted to really just pull out this video because I'm having some thoughts about the Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat 11, that's coming out. And let me say that trailer looked amazing. There's nothing more that I could say about that. And I'm gonna let you know right now, I am very biased when it comes to Mortal Kombat. It is my favorite fighting game out there. It always has been because it's always had a compelling story that I looked forward to, right? From Mortal Kombat 1, seeing the endings, then Mortal Kombat 2, letting us know that all of the Earth Warriors went to Outworld to then fight Shao Kahn and then beating Shao Kahn and realizing that that wasn't really enough, that there's more to the ball game than just that, and then leading into like Mortal Kombat 4 with Quan Chi, and then us knowing that Mortal Kombat mythologies played a big part in the analysis of Shinnok and Quan Chi, and also Bihan, and how Bihan was then transitioned into into Noob Saibot, which was a big revelation back in the day for me personally, especially when it was, I think it was in, I don't want to say Armageddon, but whatever came prior to Armageddon or during Armageddon when there was Shinjiko and Ashura in them. That the revelation that it was like, oh snap, Noob Saibot was really the old Sub-Zero the whole time, and that was his brother. And then it was like, oh, bring back memories of like Mortal Kombat mythology, because you're like, oh snap. So that means my boy Sub-Zero actually turned into, he was a good guy, but then ended up transitioning into Noob Saibot. You kind of feel bad for him, right? So overall, and that's only a piece of the puzzle, right? When you get into the whole thing about like Onaga and him being the predecessor to Shao Kahn, you're just like baffled with all the storylines and how they're integrated into each other. And then let's not even forget about Cyrax and Sector and how they gave themselves to the Lin Kuei so they could be automated and to turn into like these ultimate machines. And then Sub-Zero and Smoke trying to get away from them, and it's like crazy, right? And then when you get to the fact when Armageddon is basically a reset, or Mortal Kombat 10 is, or Mortal Kombat 9, right? Mortal Kombat 9, or any of those games are basically a reset from when it comes to Armageddon, which is like an alternate timeline, because Dark Raiden is like, oh snap, like, even though I was bad, I kind of messed up things, so let me send some time travel, mental time traveling, aka kind of like X-Men Days of Future Past, like Kitty did, and send some vibes back to the old Raiden, and then to try to change things. And while things were not fixed at all, things were changed significantly. For example, we have Sub-Zero, who was basically changed, but then he wasn't changed later on, because then we saw him back as the new leader of the Lin Kuei, things of that nature. So I'm when you think about the complexity of the story when it comes to Mortal Kombat, it isn't simple, right? It isn't simple in the sense of it's just like, let me just, they're going against some evil guy and then that's it, peace, they beat him, right? Sometimes it's like, oh snap, you beat that evil guy, but you didn't really know that he was your brother the whole time. And then he actually had a kid that you had destroyed from the field. It's crazy when it comes to Mortal Kombat. So while there's blood and gore, there's a baseline for a story that is like significantly grand, right? So that's what I'm most excited for when it comes to Mortal Kombat, is the storyline and how that's gonna traverse into something even greater, because as we know that these new slew of Mortal Kombat games are basically a timeline based reset from the old Mortal Kombat games. Now, I don't want to call them a retcon, referring to comic book terms, which is retro continuity, but it is in the sense of, it's not really a sense of whatever used to happen from Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to Armageddon is erased. It's like all of these things happened, and because they have happened, it has led into a continuity reset when Raiden send messages to his past self, and then did X, Y, and Z that led up to this. Because then when you played all the old school games, you'll realize that Raiden ended up being Dark Raiden anyway. When we see the trailer, right? So my question is, all of the new elements that are about to arise right now, would they have arisen in the past games? And if not, these new characters that are being introduced, I'm pretty sure they're going to introduce them in a way that makes them seem like they have always been, right? That new character, which I thought was Ashra, I thought she was Ashra. I don't know why I thought she was Ashra. I guess because of the white, and Ashra didn't really have she doesn't have her hat in the trailer, so it couldn't be Ashra. How does this person, which I do think is the Elder God, how does she play into the timeline of the story, and has she always been there if she was the Elder God? And is there anyone who knew of her, right? I'm excited to, and I know I'm just ranting here, but I just want to get my my rants out. I am excited to see that Fusion is stepping up to the plate. Now, Fusion is one of my favorite gods, and I'm not too sure why. Maybe it's just because like I like the wind power aspect, and because we fought him. Did we fight him? Yeah, I think we fought him in Mortal Kombat Mythologies, and he was also introduced in Mortal Kombat 4 as kind of like the next person who will, the next in line to kind of like watch over Earthrealm, which is Fusion, right? So I like that he's gonna have a mainstay aspect in it, and we're gonna move over Raiden aside a little bit. I like that he's gonna become a bad guy, right? A baddie in the sense of the Mortal Kombat timeline. Now, one of the things that I've seen in the trailer, and I'm gonna end the video pretty soon here, is that Raiden actually had Shinnok's amulet on his chest in the movie. I said in the movie, in one of the screenshots for the games. So I want to know what you all think about that. I have to go back and play Mortal Kombat 10 to see Raiden's ending again, to see if he picked up the amulet and then did something. But anyway, I'm excited to see what's happening. That new person who seems to be in control of time as an Elder God per se, right? I'm not too sure if she's really there because she sees that things are being messed up, right? It's kind of like there's an overseer of the Elder Gods, and they're just like, well, all this time things have been okay enough for me to not get in, but because things are so bad right now, and actually the timeline is about to get messed up, and all the different worlds are about to mess up, that I have to step in. And she's probably bringing warriors from past times because they seem to be the most powerful and the most knowledgeable enough to beat this character, which also gives way to characters who have never been in the Mortal Kombat universe but have been mentioned that could come back, right? For example, Kung Lao. We've never played with Kung Lao. Now, I'm not talking about the Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat 2. I'm talking about the Kung Lao who was defeated by Goro. Now, they could bring back that Kung Lao. Now, I'm pretty sure that he's going to be reminiscent of the Kung Lao from Mortal Kombat 2 and onward. But he may have a moveset that is phenomenal and just cool to, to play with, right? And some of you might be wondering, well, if they bring him back, he lost to Goro. True, he lost to Goro. But now he's going to be back with knowledge of what was in his present, but also what will be. So that can involve a multitude of different things, new training, and I don't know, a lot of things in the story that could imagine if you were given knowledge from the future, would you do things a little bit differently now? That's all I'm saying, right? So Kung Lao could be like, well, I was skilled enough and I kind of let my guard down and that's why I died, right? He might say like, well, I'm going to go train with Kenshi or someone for a little bit and then come back even stronger or something like that. Because time, however they play time into this game could also be played in the sense of like they're doing some hyperbolic time chamber Dragon Ball Z-esque type of thing. Like, well, we're gonna go train in the room, in the Elder Gods room of time and space and things like that, so that I could get better before I go to the future to help the the future Kung Lao or something like that. But anyway, I'm ranting. I'm just making up stuff right now. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of video where I'm just like talking about my hopes and dreams, or just my understanding about certain things. I'm gonna try to make more videos like this to deter any copyright type of things, because I did get a couple of copyright strikes, and while they're not copyright strikes that make me have to delete videos or anything like that, I just don't like them, right? So that's why you don't see any like shots and things like that on this video. But anyway, this is Zen Manga. Hope you're having a good day. Take care. Peace.